but because we felt that we needed to move this, we were kind of optimistic, let's put it that way. When I was planning this, I thought, you know what, we can get all the inner healing done in a week. Nah, not possible. So we slipped the inner healing for 2 weeks, and that hasn't given us enough time to do 2 weeks of the revelatory before we go. So we'll just save that for next time and see what happens. But it's what was that?
If Jerry lets us come again.
Of course. It's always if Jerry lets us come again. It's his place. And so it's it'll give me more time. One of the things the Lord's really been doing whilst I've been here is I think I've said, is doing a lot of challenging of us. And even now, the whole of the index on this inner healing course is just been completely. That's my scribble, by the way. And we're going to go back and look at it and probably end up rewriting the whole school, just based on what the Lord's shown us in the last 10 days here. So we've already been negotiating with a place back home to literally withdraw away from everybody for five months. Just Jacqueline, myself and the Lord for 5 months, all over Christmas and New Year, and to really seek Him for what He's saying for this coming season, the whole of next year. I mean, personally, I'd like to go in September, but it looks like He wants us back in the States to do some training ourselves. But there's so much the Lord's doing at the moment in as far as the Word of God goes, fresh insight, new, like I said before, this taking us back to the place where we believe in the literal fulfillment of everything the Word says, the literal meaning of what He says. So when He says you are a new creation, He means at the point we got saved, not now. It's not a process that we go through. It was when He said it is finished, that was it. It was done. When we come to, it's this whole thing about sozo, the Greek word for salvation, for healing, for deliverance, is all the same word in the Greek, sozo. And if we've got faith for salvation at the point we become a Christian, how come and it tends to start with the ministers, how come we don't have faith that when we lead somebody to the Lord, they'll get saved, they'll get delivered, and they'll get totally healed / whole at that very point. If He can do it for the spirit, how come He can't do it for the soul and for the body? And I'm not there yet. That my faith isn't there yet. My understanding isn't there yet. But that's where I want to get to. And that means time in shifting incomplete teaching from a prior generation into the more complete teaching of today. And almost every time I pick the Word of God up, it's like new revelation. It comes every single time. It makes reading it a real pain at times, because it's like you've hardly explored and mined everything from what you read yesterday before He gives you a whole lot more today. And we need to be aware of that. That's not just for me. That's something He's doing all over the world. And I get email messages constantly from people who are saying, like, wow, I've just seen this, and did you realise it? All over different scriptures coming together for it's. I mean, we call it new revelation. It's just old revelation.